Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and compare the Sony Xperia 10 cameras to the LG G8's cameras. Just going to do a quick rear and front camera sample, and then I'll tell you what I think at the end of the video of both of these devices. So let's get into this video. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay, and this is the Xperia 10 versus the LG G8. Now I do have the HDR turned off because it was a little punchy last time and really saturated. Some of you guys didn't like that, but it was on auto HDR, so I've completely turned it off. And in this video, I'm just kind of standing still here, panning around and getting some footage from both of these devices. Now, this phone costs $350, the Xperia 10, and the G8 is $620. So you can tell me which one you like better. I can tell you though, just looking through the viewfinder, that the G8 is a little bit more accurate. But that's just from my natural eye, from what I can see and what the phones are producing. Like at this shot right here, look at how the Sony is producing this. It's really like a gray looking color, at least through the viewfinder it is. I'll see it once it gets on the computer. But this is the Sony versus the G8 in the rear camera battle. This is 1080p at 60 FPS because the Sony does 4K but not at 60 FPS. So I put them both to 60 frames per second in 1080p. But I will go ahead and change this now to 4K for both, and let's check it out. Now here is 4K on both. Unfortunately with the Sony, you get this warning when you're recording 4K video that if you record too long, it's going to heat up and shut the phone off. That's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. Just looking at these two through the viewfinder, again, it appears that the G8 is extremely accurate from what I can tell with my naked eye. It's a really windy day out, so whichever one has the better audio, that is the one I'm going to use. It'll probably be the G8 because the microphones for canceling noise are really good on the G8. But this is 4K. And that's both phones side by side. And to let you know, the G8 is right there. You can see I switched it to widescreen or wide angle. There you go, back to normal. And there you have it. So it looks as though the Sony produces the colors differently. Like if I wasn't holding this next to the G8, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that, you know, the Sony, it's not that the Sony has bad quality, it's just producing the colors differently, that's all. So for this part of the test, this is the front camera recording on the Sony Xperia 10. Take a look at how it's producing. In the video viewfinder, it looks like I'm kind of orange right here. I don't know what that's about, but this is what it is. So let's take a look at the G8. All right, so here's the G8. No adjustments or anything, just fired it up, hit record, and this is the footage that you get from the G8. All right, guys, so what do you guys think about the footage that both of these phones produce? Now, let me tell you what I think about it. I think that I turned off the auto HDR, and I just turned HDR completely off on the G8 because that was the thing. It was really saturating. You guys didn't like that. Personally, it doesn't really bother me too much, but I will say in this video, the colors that the G8 produced were extremely accurate. It is a little punchy. It is a little bit saturated, but it was definitely closer to reality, more close to reality than the Sony Xperia 10. So the funny part about it is the Xperia 10, I think it has fantastic cameras. I shot a video earlier for Premiere, and it's live on my current daily drivers, and check that video out if you haven't already done so. But that was filmed with the Xperia 10. And what I noticed about the G8, I think the AI really kicks in, or the HDR is just there. These cameras are super punchy and they produce very vibrant colors. Now, again, the color accuracy was a little bit more real to life, was a lot more real to life than what the Sony Xperia was producing. But the Sony Xperia by itself, you wouldn't know, you know. So that's why sometimes I do comparisons that you guys request, because some people felt like the G8 would just slaughter the Sony Xperia 10. In reality, I think the Sony Xperia 10 held its own for a phone that is half the price. And I think that if you buy the Sony Xperia 10, you will not be disappointed. But what I'm really wanting to compare is the Xperia 1 to the G8. And every video that I talk about Sony, I talk about them not bringing out the Xperia 1 yet. I'm really hoping by June I can have the Xperia 1. I mean, I'm really just waiting to purchase this device. As long as the price is not crazy and over $1,000, I'm gonna be all in. I know that I am. So as far as these two phones go, both of these phones are great. One does cost less than the other, but that shouldn't be a determining factor whether or not you want to purchase it because of the cameras or not. Yes, the G8 has some high-powered cameras, and some of you guys might say it's not fair. But again, why isn't it fair? I think if anything, it proves that Sony can make some really good cameras on phones that don't cost a lot. And that's saying something. You know, the 21:9 aspect ratio, you guys know I love that. And I'm really excited for the Xperia 1. I just can't stress that enough. But how do you guys feel the Sony Xperia 10 did against the G8? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.